Today we are going to discuss the Buck coat of arms. But before we get started, we wanted to let you know that we offer genealogy research service at our website. Please visit us at coadb.com. First coat of arms to discuss belong to the Bucks of Wisbech in Cambridgeshire, England. Of this line was Samuel Buck, son of William and grandson of Thomas Buck of Melton. And there was also Robert Buck of Ely in Cambridge, who was son of Robert and grandson of John. And both of those men had sons and daughters that continued the line. Next, the coat of arms of William Bucke, Esquire of Cambridgeshire and also of Yorkshire, granted in 1652. Coat of arms of Buck of Gloucestershire. They descended from Richard Bucke of Nashe, the son of William Bucke and the grandson of John Buck, all the way back to John Buck of Lastonashe, who lived in the 14th century. And they also descended from Matthew Buck, son of Thomas Buck and grandson of Thomas, and both Richard and Matthew had sons who continued the line. Very similar coat of arms here for Buck of Worcestershire, Francis Buck, Esquire of Nasse in that county, son of Kenallen Buck and grandson of William. He had children including Sir John Buck, Francis, Rachel, and Jane. James Buck, looks like son of Matthew Buck of Winterbourne in Gloucestershire. Augmentation granted in 1685 by the Ulster King of Arms, which is in Ireland. Next, Buck coat of arms not stated, but I believe this to be associated with the Bucks of Daddenhouse, also known as Morton. There was Lewis William Buck of Daddenhouse near Bidford, third son of George Stuckley Buck, who was the grandson of John Buck, a member of Parliament for Taunton, and the third son of George Buck, a tobacco merchant. And here we see George Stuckley Buck and Lewis William Buck, as well as the family estate of Daddenhouse or Morton. Another for the Buck baronetcy of, we'll actually say Buck of Lincolnshire. There was the Buck baronetcy of Hamby Grange in the county of Lincoln, a title granted in the baronetage of England in 1660 to Sir John Buck, who was son of Sir John Buck of Hawlish or Hawbeck, a member of Parliament. I believe the arms was granted to him in 1592, and he in turn was the son of Sir John Buck of Hamby, who died in 1596 and was Provost Marshal of Cadiz. And there was also Sir William Buck, 2nd Baronet, who was High Sheriff, and Sir Charles Louis Buck was also High Sheriff for Lincolnshire, and the title became extinct on his death in 1782. Here we see Mary Buck, the daughter of the 1st Baronet, Sir John Buck. Coat of arms of John William Buck, Esquire, born 1780, the son of John Buck, Esquire of Town Hill House in York. He had son William Buck, Esquire of Denholm, who matriculated to Oxford in 1835 and had daughters Caroline and Sophia. Coat of arms borne by Jonathan Buck, Esquire in 1824. Buck of Kent, who descended from Thomas Buck of Southampton, the son and heir of John Buck of Berkshire. And also of this line was, I believe, his son, Sir Peter Buck, who died in 1625, the mayor of Rochester in Kent, and the clerk of the check at Chatham Dockyard, who was knighted in 1603. Thomas Buck of Hampshire, granted in 1583. I wasn't able to ascertain who this Thomas Buck was for sure, but I have a note here that says there was a Thomas Buck alive in the year 1577 who was a merchant active in Southampton, which is in Hampshire. Quarterly Gules Vert, a buck between 3 faience argent, all within a border engrailed ore. And lastly, I don't have the arms are blazoned for it, but there was a Thomas Buck born around the year 1590, and his younger brother, I believe, John Buck, who were ushers, let's say, to the University of Cambridge, sons of Thomas Buck of Ugly from Essex. They had a coat of arms granted to them in 1639. And a list of some other members of the Buck family. Sir George Buck, he was Master of the Revels to King James, served in the war against the Spanish, was a member of Parliament. Sir John Buck of Harthill in Yorkshire, executed at the Battle of Bosworth Field. There was also a Buck family from Ireland who were silversmiths, and looks like they were active in Dublin. You have Adam Buck, Jonathan Buck Sr., and his son, Jonathan Buck Jr., who died in 1786. And very quickly, going to the Bucks of mainland Europe from Germany and other locations, we have Peter van den Buck, 1364, a councillor. Lambert Buck, 1608. A patrician family who immigrated from the Rhine. Karl Buck, a councillor in 1677. George Wilhelm Buck, alive between the years 1788 and 1831, senator in Frankfurt, Germany. Marcus Buck was alive in the 17th century, came from a family of senators from the city of Hamburg. Karl Heinrich Christian Buck, alive in the year 1774, councillor from Hamburg. Michael Buck, a burgher captain in Hamburg in the year 1712. Buck of Munster, Buck from Frankfurt am Main in Germany. Buck von Bahr and Buck von Zurich in Switzerland, originally from Dagerland. Buck von Ballville from Switzerland. Buck von St. Croix. Buck of Flanders in Utrecht, in Belgium and the Netherlands, respectively. Buck of Bois-le-Duc from the Netherlands, and Buck of Ghent. And if you enjoyed this video, please visit us at coadb.com, link in the description. Thank you very much.